All right, continuing with step 10, finishing up the wiring, harnessing, and all that. So I did more research after doing this wiring, and what I found is if you want this to be prototypical, you do have to run the wiring from the front. I'm going to call it an air cylinder. I know that's not right. You do have to run it underneath this cylinder right here. That's actually what that is. Because otherwise, in real life, if you had it to the sides, what they'd be worried about is this getting pinched or busted. And these are airlines. You can't obviously run it well if you got a broken airline. So you have to run it underneath there and then out the back. I found prototypical photos of prototype where this is the setup that they've got. Runs like this. Now I've seen some where they've got zip ties that hold together the lines on either side, which is kind of cool, but your choice. I mean, you can't really see a lot in there, but even with this setup, it still works. Nothing's pinched. So just because I have looked online and there are some people have run the lines completely on the outside. That's not right. They've run the lines underneath here, and some people have tried doing it like with these two halves completely apart and doing it and then glue it together. And honestly, the easiest way is the way that I've done it, that I can tell. Assemble it and then run the wire underneath. I know you need a good pair of tweezers, forceps, and you got to force it under there. Might be a pain. You saw how much fun it was for me doing one, but that will get you the correct setup. So this one here, what I ended up doing, so in step 10, you've got 3 photo etch parts, SC11 and SC3 on each side. I pretty much gave up trying to make those because it was pretty crazy. And so I went and made a 3D part. Yes, I'll put them up for sale eventually, but this way you just glue it on there, run the wires through it. I put a little super glue on there to hold them down and run them up the side like they're supposed to this. Now, these clamps, which are either part P11 or P12 that hold these on, this one I did with model glue on this side, right here. This one I did with super glue. Obviously, the super glue one's not moving. This is taking time to dry. Your choice, however you want to deal with it. Just wanted to at least show that I was doing it. This one keeps kind of pulling to the side a little bit. It's going to take a while for that to set. But there's that. So I'll show you what I'm doing. This was with a number 3. If you remember before, I numbered them on the other page with the wiring 1, 2, 3, 4. So, like, for example, I've got a singular number 4. I've got several number 3s. Just so you're aware where this is all coming from. I'm just grabbing some random piece I had on my workbench for using as a glue stick guide, whatever. I know they've got the fancy loops and stuff like that. But anyways, so all I'm doing is taking the part, putting a little bit of super glue in here. Do not put a lot in there. Now, when I did I should have done this first. When I did these, the supports are on the bottom, so I'm just taking a quick rub so that this actually sits flat on there, but, you know, just for a quick sec. And by hand, I don't even need the parts. I'm putting this on, and I'm doing it just a smidge off. That's how the prototypes look. They're just a smidge off of the casing right there. And it's glued on. It's ready to rock and roll. Take the 2 wires, or what are supposed to be the pneumatic lines, but run them in there. Smidge of glue. That's done for that. Now obviously you've got to let the super glue set or whatever, but I did not actually get some on the... So what I did was I got glue on the wires, but I didn't actually get it on the holder, so it wasn't staying in there. Now it'll stay in there. And then I'm just forming it because I kept the copper wire in there. And the way this is supposed to work is that you have these wires side by side up above, like this. And then you take the appropriate part. In this case, it's going to be, well, it says P11 for that side. But it's going to be apparently harder to find than I thought. Yep, right here, P11. And to super glue it, what I did was just put it in place with the wires running through it, kind of like dry fitting it, in a way. Well, maybe not in a way, it really is the way. This is the way. But I put that in there, like so, and then again using my little screwball tool. You know, maybe I should get some of those loops or whatever. But that's attached right there. It doesn't want to, even with the wires in there, the way that this is designed, it doesn't seem to quite want to fit. So there's always going to be a bit of an opening at the top. But this is how I'm doing it. So, okay, side one is done. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to give just a little bit of a feel for like gravity working. Like these cables have some weight and going in there. So they're going to go in and they're going to dip a little bit. And then they're going to go up to what's up here. So there's that. Again, I find the part and dry fit it. Like so. Now that didn't go in quite the way I wanted it to, so I'm gonna try and clean that off a little bit, but yeah, it didn't get it in the back. Apparently I got it in the front, but not the back. So just so you know, this isn't the easiest thing in the world. There we go. But there, now that's glued on. And you can see that it can glue pretty close if you've got the setup right, but there, now there are two properly wired position number 3 wheel pieces, or the start of the wheel station, I guess I'll call them. So I'm gonna finish doing the rest. There's nothing special about number 4 or number 1 or anything like that. They all, as long as you cut the wires the right length, they all pretty much assemble the same way right here with the wire guide and the chutes on the side, these parts P11, P12. So I'm going to build the rest of them off, and I'll come back with the next video, hopefully a little bit quicker than this. I've been wasting way too much time on this. This is intimidating, even for an advanced modeler. I mean, not only is it quite a few pieces to get this to work right, but it's 10 of them or 20 pieces for stuff. It gets to be a lot of work. So if you're feeling intimidated by it, I am too. However, I'm going to get this done. Yeah, so going to get this done and come to the next video. See you then.